Hey YouTube, this is James from Team Collection, and I'm coming at you guys with another episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Say What? Today's episode is going to discuss the battle phase and all of its complexities. Many players out there think that my monster attacks their monster. If my monster is bigger, their monster dies, blah 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 blah. However, there are a lot of complex sub-steps of the battle phase, and today you're going to learn what they are. So to begin, first you have the start step. That's pretty much the time when you say, okay, I'm entering my battle phase, and that's also the time when your opponent generally likes to activate Threatening Roar. During that time, you can activate any spell speed 2 cards and decide if you're going to attack or not. I mean, you don't have to. You can still enter your battle phase if you control no monsters, or even if all your monsters are in defense mode. You could still enter the battle phase. So, next up we have battle step. You declare that you're entering battle step. My monster attacks your monster. That's literally what it is. So we go, and that goes into the attack declaration, which you can chain a lot of cards to, and that's generally where you chain the cards. Mirror Force, Deep Prison, all the cards that say when your opponent's monster attacks, you can do this. So those are the times when you chain those. Really simple. I know most of you guys know this already, but bear with me. Now we get on to the damage step. But before we do that, there's a small subsection called before damage step. Now this is before you actually essentially compare the damage. Compare each other's attack and defense points. And that's when you can activate any cards that don't necessarily relate to the battle itself. So Mirror Force has missed its timing, but you don't want to activate Honest yet. That little gap in between there, this is what I'm talking about. You can activate Compulsory Evacuation Device. There's a bunch of cards that are chainable at pretty much any time in the game. Compulse is one of them. You can activate it during this time. So now, if you have nothing else to do, both players agree, okay, I have nothing to do, you guys enter the damage step. Now, most of you guys have heard or seen someone talking about or whatever about the damage step. The damage step is broken down into 7 sub-steps, and cards that can be activated at the damage step are counter trap cards, Warning, Judgment, Dark Bribe, 7 Tools of the Bandit, etc., etc. Spell Speed 2 effects that, and this is very important, Spell Speed 2 effects that directly alter the attack and defense, such as Shrink, Forbidden Chalice, Forbidden Lance, Forbidden Dress, Rush Recklessly. Those are just a few examples of cards. Oh, Limiter Removal, come on, it's like my favorite card ever. Those are just a few examples of cards that can be activated during the damage step. Then you have your effects that specifically say they can be activated during the damage step or have activation timings, etc., etc. Next up, quick effects that negate and only negate the activation of a card effect. So we're talking about Logia, Dalka, Xian, and Muzakana Magatana, but that's a counter trap too, so that's kind of a win-win. Anyways, and then some other random cards that Konami has ruled that they can be activated in the damage step. Attack and Receive, Chthonian Blast, Deathstroke Archfiend, Michizer, Null and Void, and Numinous Healer. Those are just a few. So on to sub-step 1. We have the start of the damage step. This is where all your continuous effects would activate. So for example, Jane the Lightsworn Paladin, he would gain his attack boost at sub-step 1, start of the damage step. Also, this is where effects like Neospatian Grand Mole would activate, and stuff like that. Sub-step 2 is the actual flipping a face-down monster face-up. So, for example, we all know Morphine Jar, we all know Raikou. Okay, this is when they would flip, okay, and we'd find out, oh crap, it's a Morphine Jar, or oh crap, it's a Raikou. However, their effects, and I'm going to emphasize this, flip effects do not activate at this time. Okay? Very important. Next we have before damage calculation. This is effects like Aaron, Lightsworn Monk, where she would shuffle the monster into the deck, or Drillroid, are activated. Next we have during damage calculation. Now during damage calculation is kind of funky because there's not a lot of cards that actually have that effect. However, there are a few, obviously. There's Injection Fairy Lily, you know, she gets her boost, and Kribo. And now I know you've all been wondering, where's Honest? Where's Honest? Everybody drops that card in the damage step. You're talking about all the sub-step. When can I drop my Honest? Honest is pretty cool. It's also why it's at 1. Honest can be activated anywhere between the start of the damage step all the way up to during damage calculation. So you can, like, have some fun with that. Just saying. Oh, this is also very important. During damage calculation, there is only one chain. For example, if I have an Honest and my opponent has an Honest, I have a BLS and he has, I don't know, a face-up attack position Aaron. If I attack him with my BLS and I drop my Honest, so that would pump my BLS up to 4,600. My opponent cannot wait for my Honest to resolve and then drop his. Because at that time the damage has already been calculated and we're proceeding on to after damage calculation. So, general rule of thumb is if you have the Honest and you're playing against someone else that may or may not have an Honest, hopefully you can drop your Honest first in the chain link, because if you think about it, chain link 1, chain link 2. Chain link 2 Honest, that Honest would resolve, gain some boost. Chain link 1 Honest, that one would gain everything that other card just gains. So if you're in an Honest battle, you want to be the first one. Just saying. Alright, so after that we have after damage step. Or not after damage step, after damage calculation. This is literally when you say, look dude, my BLS has 4,600 attack, your Aaron has 16, you're gonna get punched in the face for 3k, and you're gonna take it. That's pretty much all it does. Effects that say after battle damage can be activated. So for example, cards like Spirit Reaper attacking your opponent directly, they pitch your card, and that happens at this time. And Substep 6 is when you resolve the effects. If you remember earlier, I said Morphing Jar and Raikou flip, but they do not activate their effects yet. It is in Substep 6 that they activate their effects. Morphing Jar to discard, draw 5, or Raikou to pop 1 and mill 3. Also, trigger effects like DD Warrior Lady, DD Assailant activate at this time, etc., etc. And then lastly, we have Substep 7, which is the end of the damage step. This is when your monsters, you've probably been wondering, well, when the hell do they go to the grave? This is when your monsters get to go to the grave. After every single other effect has had its chance to activate and resolve, and you've had to sit there realizing, my card's gonna die, why can't this go faster? It dies. That is the last sub-step of your monster dying. However, it is not the end of the battle phase. Next up, after that battle, if you don't have any more monsters, you can decide, okay, I'm going to enter my end step, which means I'm done with my battle phase, yo. I'll either enter my main phase 2 or I'll go to end phase, and end my turn. However, if you want to continue battling with your other monsters, you can continue that and continue on through all of these sub-steps. Like I said though, if you don't have any other monsters, you can continue on to your end step. If any of you guys have any questions about the battle phase, I know I kind of rush through this little segment. Please bear with me. You're welcome to PM me any questions, and I'll give you my best answer. Thank you for watching. I can't tell you how happy I am to have 100 subs. I'm going to have a contest little video thing. It's something different. Trust me, you guys will like it. But anyways, comment, like, and subscribe for more Yu-Gi-Oh! Say What's and more videos from Team Collection.